Realistically, oh, that wasn't too bad. Come on, cow. Get that thing on the ground. Like, you should be relaxing, you should be smooth with the controls. I was tense. I was super tense. What's going on, guys? Welcome to flight day number 12. Sunny sky. 24 degrees today at the airfield. Super low winds, like 5 knot gusting to 8. Should be smooth, not much wind, so it should be smooth. However, last week we got smashed by the thermals, so just because there's low wind doesn't mean it's going to be smooth up there, which is something that I'm learning. You know, those thermals in a light aircraft, you can feel them. They bump you around a lot. But let's get into lesson 12. Let's try keep that reference straight. Let's try stay on the runway this time. We're going to butter some landings today. That is what we're doing. It's been too long now. We 100% need to butter a landing, and it's happening today. Our first buttered landing is coming up. So lesson 12, let's get to the airfield. Here we are at the airfield, back with our trusty piece of farm machinery. Very low wind, windsock's well and truly out there, so you won't be able to see it, but it's practically straight down. Apparently, there was a little bit of fog early this morning, so it's 11 AM now. Till an hour ago, they said they had 1,000-foot ceilings. We got a good time slot here. The first Saturday of every month, our flight school here does a barbecue, which it's just so cool. They pull a barbecue up to the in the hangar. I was a little bit late, so we're actually going to have the barbecue before we fly. So we're about to do that now, which I'm excited for. I hope we don't do any stalls today. Jumping straight from a barbecue into some stalls and stall recoveries. Don't know how I'll go with that, but no, it doesn't get much Aussie than that, does it? Barbecue in a hangar. Let's go. So we got some people flying in for the barbecue. Oh, look at this open canopy. This is a cool day. Best barbecue in history.
You need to do free-solo exam pretty shortly, would think.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm in my pajamas. It's a matching set. It's currently a Monday evening, and we're going to do some reactions to some of my landings that I think were filmed about 1.5 years ago on my 12th lesson or something like that. So when I was looking back through this footage, when I finally got to it 1.5 years later, all the audio was horrible. The way I was recording audio back then was by putting, literally I had an audio recorder with a cable and I was putting it in the headset ear cup, and I think what happened is I put the microphone like sandwiched between my ear and the squishy bit, so it is like, sounds like a robot's talking. So we are doing a reaction video now. Let's see how this goes. This is going to be super casual. I think it's going to be awesome to be able to watch these back. It's actually a really special lesson. There's a key event that comes up here on landing number 3, so hold out for that. But yeah, look, here we are. We're at Rollo's airfield. This is where we transitioned our training to in the early stages when Murray Bridge closed down for resurfacing. And at this portion of our training, we were up to basically pattern work, circuits as we call it in Australia. In America, I believe you call it patterns. I'm saying you because I think I'm speaking to America, but what does the rest of the world call it? I don't know. But after you've completed your upper air training or your altitude training, where you're getting familiar with how an aircraft flies like at altitude, then you come into the airport and you start doing pattern work, which is essentially where you fly a rectangular box around the runway. And here we are, we're on our first one. So we took off, I think on runway 01 or 19, I'm not even sure, I don't remember anymore, that's how bad I am. But we're on the final leg here, which is the one that you approach, which is the one that you come into land. It's your final leg, the final leg of the circuit. You have to be careful in Rollos because there's literally a power line right here. So realistically, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't amazing. I'm going to give this one a 4. I'm going to give that a 4. But what you saw there was basically I didn't capture my height, so I came down too quickly and I didn't arrest the fall. It's kind of a balancing act that I found, and I was not comfortable at this point of the training, where you basically have to manage your height with your power, so your throttle setting, and your airspeed with your pitch, like your elevator, so the stick. And I just did not have that down pat at this point, and there was a lot of instructor input. So it's a dual control airplane. So much like you probably when you're learning to drive a car, you have your own set of pedals, like your accelerator, your brake, your clutch. If you drive manuals, you should be driving manuals, and the instructor will also have their own set of pedals on their side. Well, that's how this airplane works. So Mike, my instructor, his name's Mike, he's a legend. He's always kind of giving like a little bit of help at this stage of my training because I just was struggling to keep it straight. But here we are, landing number 2. What do we got? Come on, Cal, you're an aerospace engineer. You should be able to land this little plane. Bit of float. Oh, that was a bit better. It wasn't as hard. It wasn't smooth. What are we going to blame that on? Potentially the rock runway? No, that's a 5. We'll give that a 5. So, all right. Around the pattern again, and we'll come in for landing number 3. So, as I was talking about before, the pattern consists of 4 legs. So you've got your upwind leg, which is in line with the runway. You turn crosswind, which is across the wind direction, downwind, and base. So here, there's actually a lot of checks that you do before you come into landing. I think it's a good opportunity to actually watch one in real time here. So we're at the end of the downwind leg, and every aircraft's different, but you'll always do pre-landing checks on your downwind leg, which is preparing you for landing. Now this particular point, we are just past the threshold, so you see the flaps just went down. It was because we're basically slowing the aircraft down. We want to start to lose height so that when we make our base turn, we want to be able to be looking at the runway in a left-hand pattern, looking at the runway and making sure that we're tracking towards a nice final turn so we can line up straight with the runway, but also lose height at the same time. So it's kind of a balancing act with where you're positioned relative to the runway, the height at which you're coming down. So you can, there's indicators in there. You can see your altitude, obviously your airspeed, and you have a VSI, a vertical speed indicator. We usually come down at around 500 feet per minute. In really hot conditions, it's actually hard to come down, and sometimes you have to like slip the aircraft, which I wasn't doing at this stage, and I've learned currently in my current stage of learning that when it struggles to come down because of those thermals, because you're getting these updrafts in a light airplane, it can just keep taking you up. So you just kind of have to make your way around, maybe extend your base turn a little bit so that you can lose height a bit earlier. But you want to stay close to the runway because we're always thinking about a potential failure. If your engine goes out, you want to be able to glide back to the runway, so you don't want to be too far. So I believe we just turned onto the final leg here. Wasn't paying attention, I was looking at the camera. And this is where the workload like super increases at this point. And I was like, you should be relaxing, you should be smooth with the controls. I was tense, I was super tense. And so coming in here, the runway gets super big, super quick, and it feels like it's moving so fast. But what can you do, Cal? What can you do here? Landing number 3. You're holding off nicely. That's good. Sitting in the ground effect there. Oh, came down a little tough, not too bad. But significant thing about that landing, is that was our first unassisted landing. So when I mentioned there were 2 pedals, Mike didn't touch the controls at all. He said that here. I was absolutely stoked, as you can see from my face here. So yeah, that was awesome. That was our first unassisted landing, like where we officially landed a plane by ourselves. So cool. So with no help. minimal help. All right, no, that was our first official one where he wasn't on the controls. All right, number 4 coming down. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't bad at all. Actually, yeah, I forgot to rate the last one. The last one was a 10, right? Because I landed it by myself. That one here, let's just give it a 6. Just a standard score. But yeah, last one was a 10. All right, coming around for another one. Yeah, look. Oh, so that right there is called a float. I was actually coming in a little too fast, maybe a bit too much on the back stick, which caused that ballooning effect. We're gonna give that one probably a 5. That wasn't too elegant. All right, here we are, over the runway again, holding off nicely. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. All right. Something that I'm noticing here is, I have to rate this one. Let's give that a 7. You agree with that? A 7. Something that I'm doing is I'm coming in very flat when I land. It's almost like I feel like the job is done, and as soon as the wheels hit the ground, I let go of the stick, and then like the front nose like dips forward. So I wasn't flying it all the way to the ground and keeping that flare, so it was really flat. I floated a long time here. It's most likely because I had like a little bit of throttle still in, so it didn't want to settle down. So we can't score that too highly. That's got to be a 5. That was a long float. We almost ran out of runway there. All right. So how many landings have we done? I wrote some notes. I'm not even referring to them. I think we're up to landing number 8 now. Yeah. Okay. Second last landing here. So coming down. Come on, cow. Get that thing on the ground. You've got full flaps here, I think, as well. So that would have caused us to sink even more. So, okay. Taken off. Let's just give that one an 8. That was decent. Full flap landing. Let's give it an 8. All right. Coming down for the last one. The final... the final landing, and that was clean. That was super nice. We're going to give that a 10. Nah, that's a 9. Oh, no. I thought that was the last one. Okay, we're off again. See, the wheels are spinning. So the wheels spin when you take off, and I remember always hearing that, like the wheels, you can kind of feel the vibration, so you just tap the brakes to make them stop. That was a bad landing. That was actually a 6. That wasn't a 9. All right, I think this is the last one, landing number 9, and we just want to slowly, yes, see, we caught it. It just went down, and we caught it at the last minute with some backstick. Look, we probably had a little bit of help there, but we're going to give that one a 9. That one's a genuine 9 because we greased it in. But look, here we are, backtracking on the runway. So this is something we do to there's no taxiways further up to the end of the runway. There's basically only 2 entry points. So you have to backtrack. You have to like turn around and taxi back down the runway, which is interesting. Anyway, this was a different experience doing a live reaction. I have no idea how it went, but I need to go to bed. So I've quickly recorded this. That was good fun though, so if you want to see more of these live reactions, then let me know. This was super disorganized though. I need to get better at that, but awesome flight. First unassisted landing, which was sweet. So yeah, that boosted the confidence. I'm not gonna lie. I was, in the next few lessons coming up, I was like, now I've landed a plane. Now I'm a real pilot. So that was cool. And to do it at that airfield was awesome. But this is fun. Godspeed. See you soon. Back to the vlog. Let's go. Yep. See ya. Bye. Okay, cool. I'm going. Pretty damn nice day for it, I'll tell you that. First unassisted landing, apparently. How big is that? I'm stoked. First one under the belt, so that was good. It was surreal when he said your first unassisted landing. I was like, you beauty! I just landed an aircraft by myself. The next 6 to follow were They certainly didn't live up to that standard, so every approach is different. Lots of thermals today, super bumpy, beautiful. Let's have a look at this. Oh, it's long. First time landing an aircraft unassisted. How good's that? 1st of October 2022. Absolutely stoked. Plenty more learning to do. Just got told that I'll probably have my pre-solo exam next week, and that is huge. So lots of reading this week, making sure I study it for that. We still have a bit of training to do before a solo is on the cards. In saying that, what a pre-solo exam means is that we'll be ready to do it at any given point. So, my goodness, that's going to be a big day. So, looking forward to next week. Just going to cruise out here for a little bit more, roll back, get some lunch. It is superb out here. What a day. We landed an aircraft. So, to celebrate our first unassisted landing, which we did butter, by the way. First one we actually nailed. That was our first unassisted landing, and it was a really good landing. Kind of dropped the ball after that, but it's next week to practice. It's a beautiful evening. It's super still. Sun's going down. We're gonna go get a little evening jog in on the beach and possibly a swim. So it might be dark by the time we get there, but if it's not, I'll show the beach because it is gonna look good with this sunset. It's starting to get real now with the pre-solo exam, so I was even getting a little bit nervous like driving home. A few weeks away from potentially flying the aircraft solo. That is crazy. To think we only started a couple of months ago, it's pretty surreal. Lesson 12 was an absolute success. I had so much fun. Let's go running. We managed to snag a pole position park right on the beach and have a look at what we are dealing with tonight. Oh my God. A beautiful coast to be running along. Damn incredible. What? Are you serious right now? Moon's out. I'm gonna get running. Thank you for watching fly day number 12. What a journey. It's been about 3 months now of flying. My cheeks hurt, smiling too much. I love it.